to life, and what does it bring to your life?
Well, especially also, what does it bring to the fandom as a whole? I mean, I know, as you said, you're not really connected to other parts of the fandom, but maybe you can comment on that.
I feel almost like it's attracting people into the fandom because a lot of people who aren't used to this kind of thing where you get together with people who live all over the place just because you have one common thread. A lot of people just kind of get used to the people who are around them and make friends with them. I am completely incapable of doing that, so this is the only way that I can really make friends and feel like I belong somewhere. And I feel like Wizard Rock is getting a lot of people into that because it's easy to go to a concert. If it's at your local library and you like Harry Potter, you go to it, you make friends, and then you end up flying across the country to go to one of these things. And I feel like it makes it so it's easy for a lot of people who wouldn't have gone to find the fandom otherwise. And they just kind of stumbled upon it. And a lot of people still don't really know that it's happening. And it's one of my favorite things to do is introducing people to this because they always get so into it and they really like it. And I think that it's actually making the fandom bigger and spreading it around to people who wouldn't have otherwise considered going to a conference and dressing up.
Keep converting your friends. Drag your friends. If they've even read the book, bring them to the next Wizard Rock show. Get them involved. We've brought countless friends into Wizard Rock. I dragged Paul into it slightly unwillingly, but now he's very involved. If you have any friends that read Harry Potter, take them to the next library show. Sit them down and have them listen to your CDs and stuff. Sure. And then, when you can talk about books, it can open up a whole thing. I mean, like, St. Louis Area Wizards is a group I belong to. And we started out as like a Harry Potter group. We've never had a book discussion. Not one time that we discuss a book. We go to the zoo, we go bowling, and then we go on road trips to Wizard Rock shows. And our little Slaw family gets bigger and closer every month, and we've become an incredibly close family because of our shared love for Wizard Rock and all the adventures we've had surrounding it, too. So just keep bringing your friends and keep converting them on those.
I definitely think that making either regional groups or like HPA chapters or anything like that is a really good way to just, keep into the fandom and make sure that, because none of us want it to end, but it's up to us to do something about it, just to keep going.
Okay, it doesn't look like this is really going to be a 90-minute panel, but I think the audience will probably have some questions. All right.
Yeah, I have a question. I'd like to know about your first tour, your first show, how you felt when you saw fans' reactions to what you're writing, what you're singing, and just what it was like when you first started realizing there was tons of people that loved what you did.
I'm somewhat torn which story I want to tell.
Tell them
Tell us all the stories.
I'll try to make this wicked brief again. Story number one is my first show ever was as a Lumping Willows was my first actual show, first real show was at the 2005 Yule Ball, playing with Harry and the Potters and Draco the Malfoys and so forth. And at that point nobody really knew who I was. Maybe 20 people did, and I didn't have any merch to sell. I was just kind of there, and I played my song. I think I played one song, and then I was walking away from the stage, and somebody threw something on my shoulder, and I was like, "Wow, they hate me. I'm just going to keep walking." I have no idea. So I got back to the merch table where I was hanging out, and opened it up, and it was a T-shirt that somebody had made me. Two panelists had made me, and it was like a car, your flying car thing, and it was just like, number one, I didn't even play that song. It hadn't been really released. It was like a crappy demo on MySpace for 2 seconds, and somebody made this T-shirt, and I was like, I think that was a moment when I was like, yeah, I can keep doing this. The other quick story is that the first time that another motivating show was a year later when the Malfoys and I, we played a show at the Beat Kitchen in Chicago, and that was the first show when I ever heard people singing along over myself, like I could hear it over the PA, and that was also like a turning moment where I was like, okay, I can keep doing this.
My first show was actually with Alex. I never would have even played it if he hadn't been like, I'm coming to New Jersey, book a show. And it was just kind of, it was actually kind of weird for me because I was totally fangirling him more than I was being like, I'm a band. So, it was, I don't know, it was really fun. I was actually made up mostly of my friends, but it was kind of cool that I'd never really performed. Like I did choir, so I was just kind of in a big group of people. That was the first time it was really just me and Nina, and it was still really cool because I got to perform, and it was just really neat. It was cool bringing my friends into it. That was the cool part about that show. But the first show where I don't even remember what the first one where people were singing along, but I remember thinking, wow, why do all these people know the words to my songs? Does anybody actually listen to this? And now it's just kind of overwhelming. It's just like everybody's singing along. If I stopped, I wouldn't even need to keep singing because just everybody sings along and it's so great. And I love that. I think that's awesome.
I think, and just to clarify, clarify what Lauren and I are saying, it's not like it's feeding our ego or something. It's more like gratifying. Because I think we both feel, and we all feel lucky that we have an audience. And it's something, we're musically inclined people, and we know how difficult it is to attract an audience. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time. And there are so many people doing it, and it's so rare to have an audience that's supportive. So it's gratitude that we feel, that sort of thing.
Yeah, on that note, we're definitely incredibly blessed. I have a lot of friends who are in Muggle bands, and they don't have the sort of support that we do. So that's a funny story. I've been trying to quit this band since 2005. Every time I play a major show, I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm out. I'm done. But then I'm constantly having experiences like Mal was just describing even that show at Oregon. Like, it was just, I'm constantly having experiences where I'm meeting people and saying, this is an amazing thing that I get to be part of. And it's a beautiful thing to constantly have that reinforced that we're part of something really, really special. I don't know how